Here we are. You have found it, the #1 podcast for you. Those who get up every day and get after it, bringing fitness to those around you. Sometimes, whether you realize it or not, in this podcast, we are going to hammer on the important things and
the not so important things.
Which is even more important than the important things is the not so important things.
That's right.
But this is about bringing fitness full circle. Physical health, wealth, risk, emotional, spiritual fitness, all the ways that we keep people fit. It's all about bringing fitness full circle. You know what? We probably should have just named this Fitness Full Circle.
You know, it's not too late.
It's not too late. Deal. I will change all the graphics and all the marketing that I've done. We will brand this Fitness Full Circle.
So, you know, we're going to put a pause on our t-shirts because we were going to do Rise and Grind t-shirts. And now if we're going to rebrand ourselves, we should rebrand our t-shirt as well.
That's a great idea. We'll get to work on
that.
Okay. So in today's podcast, we talked about, everyone saw this, the slap heard around the world. I wanted to talk about it because it's how casual violence has been brought center stage and how cavalier we are about that. Anyway, country superstar chooses being a fan over his own fans. We have Eric here, who's a basketball guy, to weigh in on that. We'll approach that in a minute. And golf more, live longer. I just saw a study that shows that lowering your strokes can lower your risk of stroke.
Wow.
So if your wife says you're playing too much golf, tell her, baby, I'm doing it for you. I want to live longer. In honor of the slap heard around the world, we are going to talk about actors and actresses and did they win an Oscar, yes or no. And I'm really excited about having our special guest here today, Eric Lovrak from Country Financial, discussing risk fitness, what Country Financial does to keep their clients fit, and what you can do to help ensure your own risk fitness.
Ooh, I like that. Insure.
Pun intended.
That was clever.
Indeed.
I like it.
And it would not be a Rise and Grind or Fitness Full Circle podcast if we did not talk about our unofficial sponsor, the Coffee Oasis. And Kim, if I go down to a corporate coffee chain drive-through, you know one I'm talking about, right? Born in Seattle, and I get a cup of Joe, what special things happen?
Oh, absolutely nothing. No special things.
If I go to the Coffee Oasis and get a cup of coffee, what special things happen?
Well, you can create a safe shared space for our local at-risk youth in Kitsap County. You can provide mentorship to those. You can also provide job training, shelter, meals, even clothing. It's kind of amazing.
All that with a cup of coffee.
All that because you chose the right place to go get a cup of coffee.
So how do I support that?
You buy their coffee.
Where you get your coffee may not mean much to you, but it means everything to them. Coffee Oasis, restoring communities through compassionate youth programs and coffee business. So go to their business and buy some coffee.
That's right. So simple.
Easy. Little light on the listener comments this week, so I had to dig deep for these babies. This came from the bottom of the barrel.
Oh man, our moms didn't have any comments this week?
No. But here's one I got. David in Silverdale said, I just had to listen to podcast 5 because Brett would not stop talking about it. How does this come up that I talk too much? Every single episode, they're like, he talks too much. Have Kim do it. Right.
Oh,
they're just, leave the guy alone. I'm like a fish. I have to talk to breathe.
Oh boy. Well, I appreciate your talking. I don't mind it.
And then there was another one, anonymous one that said, you said honkers. That was funny.
Yes. Well, I think you meant to say honker, and that's why it was funny.
Yeah, that's why it was
totally
funny.
Different context when you add a plural to that.
You know, and that's okay because maturity is not a requirement for listening to our podcast.
No, it's not.
Thankfully. Tough crowd.
So are we going to talk about it?
I think so.
The slap heard around the world. Did you guys watch something last Sunday night?
I did not.
It's okay, because if you didn't watch it, you can tune into any news channel or trending media source, and you can still hear about it right now.
I didn't watch it live. I did watch the replay several times as my wife came cruising into my office. I was doing my work, and she said, you got to see this. And I saw it, and my heart sank.
So it begs the question, was it staged, or do you think it was authentically, like he was really not, they're playing it off like he was really just defending his wife in that moment?
Yeah, you know, There's a lot of different ways to that. I think what I saw for myself is I thought how cavalier or how casual violence has become. I mean,
True.
literally taking center stage where somebody can go up and assault somebody else on center stage with really minor repercussions, truly. And that was really the part that bothered me on a number of levels. Right there at that time, I saw a clip that was 3 seconds long. And I saw so many different things. I saw violence. I saw just shrugging it off. And then I saw, violence, again, not being punished because for whatever reason. I have my own opinions, but for whatever reason.
Well, and that's why at first everyone was like, was that staged? Was that fake? Was that real? But then, watching the aftermath of it play out and those conversations and questions arise, I mean, it really started to beg that question of, is it appropriate or not? And obviously it's not. You can't assault somebody else. I
think the part that was probably the most difficult part for me is not more than just a few minutes later. I had to be a dad, and it had to be that teaching moment where my kids had come out and said, gosh, did you see this? And is there some sort of funny thing that had happened or some type of entertainment? And, having to go down that road. I know you're a father as well. And having to go down that road of creating that teachable moment to say, you know what, words do not translate to violence. Probably the most difficult piece for me was instantaneously having to switch gears from just being that disappointed viewer to being that father in order to explain, all the different sides of this and how this isn't entertainment. It's not entertainment. So. Great to have Eric on our panel. Like we talked about, Eric's a basketball guy. I need somebody to weigh in on this one. Check this out. Country superstar Eric Church. I couldn't tell you a song that he sang. That's not my genre, but he canceled his April 2nd sold out concert in San Antonio because he wanted to watch the UNC Duke game.
Wow.
So bless his heart.
Yeah. So that's I saw that and I was like, wow, that is crazy. This guy, he's like, you know what? I love me some Tar Heels. I want to see them wail on Duke. Which thankfully, he canceled this concert of all these people that were going to take their friends and family and significant others out on a date to go see Eric Church in San Antonio, on a sold out, cancels it.
I mean, hasn't he heard of TiVo where you can just record it? Just go ahead and turn off your phone, record it, and then watch it later. It's live. You can fast forward to the commercials. It's the best part.
So is that just a story? They canceled it? I mean, did they just move the concert up a few hours?
No, he did not give them any sort of.
Nope, they just flat canceled. There's no reschedule. There's no anything. There's Ticketmaster is going to refund you in 30 days.
My goodness.
Right? Yeah.
All right.
Heartbreaking.
He did plead to the fans though. He did say, gosh, I, like you, am a fan, as you are a fan of, I'm paraphrasing, of course, as you are a fan of Eric Church, I am a fan of the Tar Heels. And as much as you wanted to come see me, I want to see the Tar Heels. I want to see them win because evidently the Tar Heels never win, right? I'm 14 times in the last 20 years, but hey, whatever. And I thought, gosh, wow. When we talk about celebrities and, celebrity privilege and stuff like that, man, I don't know that I could do that. That's a level of fandom that I don't think that I could ever be a part of.
There's going to be a lot of disgruntled fans that are not going to forgive him on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I was tuning in April 2nd because I wanted to make sure that guy made the right choice. Evidently, he did, right? Because the Tar Heels pulled it out. They beat Duke, Coach K's last game. And so yeah, kind of an interesting piece there.
Storylines.
March Madness.
Yeah, that was some kind of madness, huh?
Taking over the country world by storm.
Yeah, nobody saw that coming, right?
Oh boy.
So I saw this study, Kim, in an actual trade journal. This is actual factual stuff.
You read trade journals?
I skimmed it.
I'm so impressed with you.
There was pictures.
You are so much more than just a, coach.
Yeah,
fitness instructor.
I know. I try to play it off as just a dumb jock, but it doesn't work sometimes. But in a study by the American Stroke Association, They noted that there was a significantly lower rate of death amongst persons who played golf regularly versus those who did not.
Oh man, did you have to say that? Now my husband's going to use this as an excuse every single weekend to go golfing.
Absolutely.
He's gotten out.
Yeah. Honey, I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you.
Yes.
I want to live longer.
Ryan's
right?
a team player.
Yeah.
He's a team player.
Right? Oh my goodness.
Eric, you a golfer?
4 or 5 times a year. I mean, in the summertime and the good weather, but not a regular. No.
Well,
Not patient enough for it.
You should really consider that because because lowering your strokes on the course lowers your risk of stroke in real life.
Well, I got probably a wide window of improvement that can be had. So that stroke level, obviously there's some that maybe like you that golf regularly that have a pretty good handicap. That's going to be difficult to kind of improve upon. My golf swing can kind of be improved upon quite easily. So
no, I'm of the opinion if I'm going to go play golf, everybody wants to do it in 72. Hey, we paid the same amount. I'm going to do it in 100.
There we go. Right? Get your money's worth.
Exactly.
Okay.
Hey, I'm super curious. You've been a lot of places around the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, what's the best place you've ever golfed?
Kauai.
Kauai.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then there's also Maui as far as Kapalua, but that was more of a memory of my uncle who took me along to be with my cousin, and I was in 6th grade and I just thought I was in heaven just being with him and on the course and teaching me a thing or two. So it was more of the ambiance, yes, but it was the follow in the relationship within that made it special.
I can imagine that's beautiful.
Yeah.
But there's actual science behind this too, behind the lowering the risk. Number one, you're getting outside, you're getting fresh air.
Yeah.
You got the sunshine, you got the vitamin D working for you.
I just can't see this being true though, because I've taken my husband golfing in Costa Rica. In fact, on our honeymoon, I took Ryan for a surprise golf game. And he was so angry the whole time. I was like, I'm so sorry. I thought you'd have fun. He's like, I am having fun. This is how I golf.
Part of it. That's part of it.
And I'm like, how is elevating and getting angry while you golf making you, less likely to have a stroke?
Well, technically it's supposed to be relaxing.
Okay.
But there are some pieces, you take the game of golf where everyone does not think that's a physical sport. But if you are, if you're carrying clubs and you're carrying this big pack on your back and you're walking 4.5 miles, stopping periodically to take a really complex body mechanics swing while you're under duress, and so there's a lot of great aspects of that. And so that's one of the keys. Most importantly on this is it's keeping physically active at the older ages. It's giving purpose. It's getting up, it's getting out there, it's getting your exercise. Bottled up in a really fun game that's social too, because you also have the social aspect of it. Most people are playing with others, so you have a social aspect, and that becomes one of the key ingredients as you get into the modern adult, where they become more reclusive, they become more sedentary on the couch. It actually gets them out, gets them moving, gets them some fresh air, and gets them a little aggravation.
Well, I can see the mental health aspect of it too. There's a lot of strategy behind it.
That's exactly right. There's a lot of strategy. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Really cool. So, Brian called me beforehand. Don't give the brother a hard time about playing golf. All right. He's doing it for you.
I'm sure. Well, I will be more lenient next time he plans a golf trip for sure.
As we like to do with all of our guests, they have got to earn their ability to be our guest. So, Eric, we are putting you through a rigorous game show. You have to get at least 2nd place to move on.
Okay.
If you answer these correctly, today's trivia is going to be best actors or actress winners. Yes or no?
Oh, wow.
Now, is this for this year only or for any year?
No, this is for any year, because there's a wide range of ages here.
Oh.
There will include some 80s for those of us that may have.
I was born in the 80s.
That's what's wrong.
That's what's wrong.
Okay.
All right.
You ready? A super easy one.
Okay. So this is me versus Eric.
You versus Eric.
Okay.
Yep.
And there's 2 contestants here.
Yeah.
So
2 contestants.
I'm pretty confident I should be able to finish at least.
You have to finish a minimum of second.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I got this. I appreciate it.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
Jack Nicholson.
Yes, of course.
Okay. You are correct. Jack Nicholson won in 1975
For The Shining?
For The Shining. In
Okay.
1997 for another one that I forgot. I think it was
As good as it gets.
Yes.
As Good as It
yes.
Gets. There you go.
Helen Hunt.
Yeah. There's no way
I
you
see
beat
it.
this. There's no way you beat this one. Okay.
Man, start off with it. Just
Ready?
cheeseburgers just floating up there.
Marilyn Monroe.
Negative.
No is correct. That one goes to you. My man, Harrison Ford.
Are we back to me again?
Nope, we're just
We
going
can
back and forth.
Oh,
We can
it's just whoever.
chime in. Yeah. I'm gonna say no, although I think he deserves one.
I'm gonna say yes.
He in fact did not win.
That's
he should.
that's
He should win. That's blasphemy that he
It
hasn't
is.
won
It
anything.
is.
It's terrible.
That's-
I
that's-
actually hurt my heart.
yeah.
So give a
Yeah.
point for me on that one then.
Yeah, I got
I'm
you.
gonna give him a career Oscar. I mean, really.
Sandra Bullock.
Yes.
Yes.
What movie?
Blind.
Speed.
Blind.
What? Oh, the blind
Blind
side.
Side.
Got it. You got
Yes.
it. Blind Side.
Yeah.
Blind
Speed.
side. Speed.
Action.
It's all that came to mind at first.
Okay, that's gonna go to Eric on that one. Nicolas Cage.
Yes.
No.
Which one?
Vegas.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh,
Shoot, man, you're a
snap.
ringer,
Huh,
buddy.
huh.
Live in Las Vegas,
Snap.
19,
I could finish it
1995.
too.
1995.
All right.
Samuel L. Jackson. Yes,
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Pulp Fiction.
No.
No.
Pulp Fiction. No.
No. If you got one, you got supporting actor.
Was it John
Well,
Travolta?
yes,
or
yeah,
Pulp
True.
Fiction?
True.
Yeah. Okay, that goes to
Nice.
nobody. Okay, Sigourney Weaver.
Oh man.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
No.
Shut out. She's been nominated 3 times. Never the
Poor
bride.
gal. Poor
Never
gal.
the bride.
Let's go on Alien.
Oh.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Any guesses on which movie that was? I never even heard of it.
I don't know. Fool's Gold was not that good.
No.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
No.
No. Both riveting movies. but Dallas Buyers Club.
I have heard of that.
2014 Dallas Buyers Club.
I didn't actually watch it, but I have heard of that one.
Last one in this one, Russell Crowe.
Yes.
Yes.
Guesses?
Beautiful Mind.
Gladiator.
Gladiator.
Ah.
I was shocked to hear that it was Gladiator.
Hmm.
Kim pulls it out at the end with Gladiator. But you qualified.
Thank
you came
you.
in second place.
Yes.
So we can move on.
Very good.
Woohoo!
Nice work, Kim.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, Brett, I am very excited to introduce our special guest today. This is, in fact, my manager. That's you, Eric Lovrak of Country Financial. And there's so many different impressive things I could say about you, Eric, to introduce you today. He's been married to his high school sweetheart for 28 years.
28 years.
28 years. They have 4 beautiful children. And what's really impressive is he's got kind of a mantra of the word loyalty. He's had one wife, one job. You've had multiple jobs, but one career over the last 30 years.
Yeah, one company,
Country
all of it.
Financial.
36 years. What a blur.
Since
In a minute.
college.
Yep.
I just love that.
Yep.
He's a basketball star. He coaches it, he plays it, he knows it well. And today we're going to talk to him about a few things that are on my mind as it comes to his career in the insurance industry, as well as maybe some fun questions that we can bring him through in the grinder and the fit or flop.
Yeah. I think it's fantastic, but you missed on a couple of things because when you told me you're bringing in an insurance guy, I was like, boring, great, all right. But what you didn't say is that this is an 80s kid that loves SportsCenter, right? We may have been switched at birth.
Oh, I mean, it's like looking in a mirror, you know.
I know,
So
I know, it is.
I like
And so I thought, you know what? You should have led with that, Kim. This is an
I'm
80s
sorry.
guy, 80s guy that
failed.
loves SportsCenter, and then all the other things
I
about him.
failed in the bio. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. But we are super, super glad to have you, without a doubt. Eric, thank you so much for coming out. We want to know a little bit more about what it is that you do, but specifically, what does Country Financial do to help keep people fit? You know, and I would assume that's from a risk fitness
Sure.
perspective, you know, having Kim on the show,
Yeah.
you know, we've talked about that, but what do you do to keep people fit, Eric?
I think first and foremost, our reps, like Kim, she stays in close contact with her clients so that she is in their hip pocket. So when I think of that just throughout time, we're a little clinical with it. We are, you know, from a process standpoint, she will touch that client throughout that year, email and text and kind of follow up. So really the reason why that I think is important is that she's developing that discussion partner. And I don't think people want to be told what to do or to be sold, but it allows her then that platform with trust to be able to keep checking in. How's things going? But there's a two-way street to it as well. So if you're Kim's client, we're wanting to have you share a little bit about what's going on, what's big or small, and those purchasing decisions. So with all of that, then as she builds this trust, I think what we do really well and what Kim does is she's really looking at the paycheck. How can we look at that asset within that household and to help that for their tomorrow? So for example, she'll be looking at the paycheck in terms of a once in a lifetime accident. And just when you think of just auto insurance and an asset of a vehicle and liability to a home, a once in a lifetime accident could prevent that income. It could be garnished wages. It can be, and we just don't believe that a cookie cutter one size fits all kind of policy is what's designed for each client. So she'll get to know her client, but get to know on the level of protection on that paycheck, which is super important. If she's working with me and Christy, and she mentioned being married for 28 years, almost 29 years, she will know Eric and Christy from a standpoint of, God forbid, I didn't come home from work today, and the impact on that household to my kids that I care deeply about. And there's a common theme amongst people that we do work with, that they care deeply about their family. So having tough conversations about, hey, Eric, what's your plan? What happens if that does occur? And then the fun part is then taking a look at that paycheck for your tomorrow. Where are you going? Where's your plan? And really making sure that you don't outlive your money. And you think of mortality today and fitness and physical fitness, like how you work with folks. Mortality tables are up. People are living longer than ever. So it's not just the asset that you're accumulating, but also having some diversification within that retirement and that future that will allow you a guaranteed income. And that's where retirement, you could kind of point to and have some enjoyment and do some of those goals.
That's fantastic. One of the things that I think is really impressive is just the way that you guys have changed the face of what insurance sales looks like, right? When you have this stereotypical insurance salesperson, I'm seeing a burlap suit, right? I'm seeing,
are you thinking Ned Ryerson in Groundhog Day?
Yeah, I'm seeing I'm seeing something completely different. And then when we see fantastic people, you know, like yourself and like him in insurance, it really brings that to that more personal approach to say, you know, this person cares about me because she is just like me. You know, she's not this stereotypical, whatever the stereotypical insurance person is. That's not what it is. And it's so great because I think that stereotypical insurance person has sort of pushed folks towards online, you know, all the online quotes that you can, all the online insurance. Yeah. Because why would I want to put my, why would I want to have a relationship or a conversation with that person? And so that's kind of what I really see. And it's probably the piece that you guys see with Country, I'm sure.
Appreciate that.
Is having that.
And you started off today kind of, okay, insurance guy, insurance gal, and it's huffy stuffy, and it can kind of be boring. And it's rhetoric. At the same time, it's based on relationships for us. And I challenge Kim all the time on our team to demonstrate to their client that you simply care more. And by caring, you have to listen, actively listening to get to know Brett, to get to know if Kim's working with me, myself, and what's important to me. And that's that common thread of what is important. And it really is, you know, we all have our lives and we have our stories and we have our families. That part of family, I need to protect. and I need to protect that paycheck, and I need to
Mhm.
protect my future and that financial security piece that does come within that.
Yeah.
Insurance is insurance, but the fabric of fun, I appreciate you kind of sharing that a little bit. I think we have a whole lot of fun. Do we have some fun?
Oh,
We do have some
I think we
fun.
have some fun.
Yeah. So that really entails just the community involvement and working with our clients one at a time, which I get a tremendous joy out of.
Mhm.
You know, I'm really glad you brought up community involvement, because there's a community piece that you guys do that I think is absolutely wonderful. Kim, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah.
I'd like to hear more about what
Mhm.
that is.
Yeah, it's called Operation Helping Heroes, and I would love for you to shine a light a little bit more about what is that, and why does country do that year after year? Operation Helping Heroes.
Well, it's got great momentum behind it, and unlike a corporate kind of spend, when I think of marketing, it's not corporate kind of spend down as far as marketing. It's really from the ground up, which I mean by it's community first and foremost. Those roots are deep. So instead of coming to Kim with a marketing idea and her to act upon it, it's really going to Kim first and foremost saying, let's celebrate those that are in your community that are serving all of us first and foremost. So that is the first responders.
Mhm.
That is law enforcement. That is teachers. That is the military. That is firefighters. They are all serving our community and serving us to make our
Mhm.
community safe. And so what we do then through that Operation Helping Heroes is to put resources into our community. For example, Kim has done a great job in 2020. I think you partnered with a restaurant,
Yep.
and she was going left and right and kind of working with just providing lunches to firefighters that are on multiple shifts and kind of taking care of them. And then 2021,
Yeah, teachers.
taking a look at teachers
Mhm.
and appreciation and giving them gift cards and just kind of that thread behind giving back to those that are giving us so much to our community. So
Mhm.
I love our Operation Helping Heroes. It's over the last several years
Mhm.
corporately throughout the company. We've paid out $3 million, and we've got another budget this year to kind of similarly spend about $1 million this upcoming year, but it's really based on each individual rep, and for them to take that heart for their community and kind of say, okay, what is it? Is it teachers? Is
Yeah.
it first responders? Is it military? And then we'll kind of oftentimes pour it into a local establishment, a local restaurant,
Mhm.
and that just lifts that company, that business up and provides them business. But let alone, it's really led by a heart of giving and time and resource. And I can't speak enough about that Operation Helping Heroes program.
It's
I
fantastic.
love that. And the fun part for me with what he just said was in 2020, that was right when we had the COVID shutdown, right? So, businesses were struggling, restaurants were struggling, trying to figure out, can I do curbside? Can I do delivery? What can I do to stay afloat? And so what was fun about that is I partnered with Whiskey Gulch, and I was able to have them provide the meals for all those firefighters, police officers, first responders, and veterans. And that was just a great way, a great feeling to help out a small business that's struggling during that time. And then in 2021, it was Coffee Oasis I got to partner with for all those teacher gifts.
Yeah.
So it's been a fun way to tie into the community for sure. So thank you.
I would tell you, Kim's work involved with that, and 2020 does ring a loud bell for me in terms of it was these business owners coming to us saying, are you kidding me? And we were wanting to partner and provide financial resources at that time, where it was really, really uplifting for me to see some business owners that, we all got thrown this curveball, and for them to say, you know what, we've never thought about curbside pickup before. We've never, and kind of the workaround and kind of being able to be kind of a little bit nimble, but for us to then support that, but then also to keep an eye on who we might want to give back to, which, like I mentioned, are those people serving our community. So
That's terrific.
That's great job, Kim.
Yeah, no, well, thank you. Great job to you and Country Financial too. And I brought up a point I forgot about that in 2020, that on the insurance side of things for these businesses, they're looking at the liability now of the delivery part of it. And when he says being nimble like that, we had to flex a little bit with our underwriters and find out what that looks like and how we can help them change their policy to actually do different services. So it was interesting.
That's terrific.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great story. Good for you guys.
So shifting gears, we have a question we love to ask.
Oh,
And I'm curious, really curious, actually. So if you wrote an autobiography, Eric, what would that be titled?
That is uncomfortable. Autobiography. I'm a process person. I am routine. I'm boring to boring kind of from that level of it. But I do take pride in being simple, keeping it simple. You mentioned loyal, I guess, earlier. I do, as far as that fabric, I guess I could kind of probably lean towards loyalty.
Oh, yeah.
Sure. Married 28 years. And I think of my high school sweetheart. I think of Christy. I think of my family. I think of my kids. And I think of, you know, being a college graduate and hanging my hat with one company, and my company knows I bleed green, and I want to do good by them, and also do good by our community and serve and give back. But it's that loyalty piece of it that is tried and true that probably stands out.
Perfect.
That I'm proud of.
That's great.
Another question that we love to ask.
Okay.
Is who lit your phoenix on fire? Meaning, who inspired Eric Lovrak to be the man that he is today?
I think we all kind of agree that there's probably a lot of people. I could spend a whole lot of time about everything and everybody, but it's probably starts off with my parents. You know, them showing love and having a family and having care of their house, and showing my brother and I kind of instilling kind of some of that work ethic and responsibility. And I think of my brother, my older brother, he is, you know, 5.5 years older. I remind him of that. But seeing him go through some trials, tribulations, adversity, he had cancer when he was 9. Got his leg amputated from the knee down when he was 16. But just watching him and observing and kind of being close to that, to where just never skipped a beat and just kept moving forward, and didn't want any favors, and just wanted to live a good life by that. And I love him for that. I think of teachers. We talked about Operation Helping Heroes and teachers and the appreciation of that, but just so many along the way that just, you know, maybe saw a little bit more in us than we see in ourselves. I remember my 6th grade teacher having up on the bulletin board, front and center, that the piece of, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up somewhere else. And talking about today's conversation about financial fitness, if you don't know where you're going, you'll probably end up somewhere else. And that rang a theme for me in 6th grade, little old 6th grade Eric, that I thought, you know, from a family and church going family, having faith, I'm like, I know where I'm going. I've got a future. And then part of it was, I want to play maybe college athletics, and that came to fruition. And for me today at 50, if I don't know where I'm going, I'll probably end up somewhere else. I've got kids, and they're graduating, and now they've got, you know, a future and getting, you know, started in their lives. And that's just exciting to me. And in athletics as well, I think presented a whole lot of coaches along the way that you know, coached me hard and expected a whole lot. And without that toughness and without that love and care and trust, you know, I'm incredibly thankful. I've got a laundry list of people that I could kind of really say thank you and I'm blessed for.
Agreed. And I couldn't agree with you more. You know, to nail that down to one or a few, I mean, truly it takes a village, you know, and so many people help shape you along the way. You know, there's the things they teach you to do, and also as important as the things they teach you not to do, or the things you learn not to do by watching others. So yeah, fantastic.
And I'll tell you, I get fired up, you know, when you think of the Phoenix, like who has lifted you, just the common person that maybe not, you don't even know, that just is kind, that just kind of opens a door, and just those little things that you think of, hey, maybe that lifts somebody up today. But, you know, for us, it instills you to where it's like, I want to do that for somebody else. And that care, we could have a whole lot more of that within our communities always. So
Absolutely.
So Eric, what you talked about how Country and Kim keeps people fit.
Yeah.
What could people do to help keep themselves fit? You have any tips for
The consumer?
the consumer or the person on the
Good
fence?
question. I think, well, let's just compare it similar to you. You're a fitness coach. So part of it, if you're meeting me at 50, it might be different than meeting with somebody that's 20, 21 college athlete that's preparing for an upcoming season. You're going to train me differently. But first and foremost, I think it starts with, where are you at? And I think of a household from a budget, from just some simple kind of components of your paycheck and also your expenses and all of that kind of in line of that.
Mhm.
And then once you kind of have an idea on where you're at, then take action, have a plan.
Mhm.
And I think a lot of it sometimes for clients, it's where do I even start? And all of a sudden that next part of it goes into this week and next month and this month, and then that turns into next year, right? And it's just, you don't wake up on a Saturday morning, Brett, and you look at your wife and say, hey, let's go plan for our financial well-being today. It's probably a honey-do list, and you're having kind of a few things on the agenda to accomplish kind of within that. So it's just start off with having a good idea in terms of where you are at, and essentially what does tomorrow look like and what do you want it to have, and then partner with somebody that can provide a second set of eyes to say, okay, job well done, you're doing good, here's some of the things that we need to take action to. And then that accountability piece is where Kim and some of those folks come into play.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Have we made it?
We are there. He has qualified. He did score high enough in the game show. He had a quality bio.
Top 2 finish.
Yep. He finished in the top 2. So he moves on to the grinder. Eric, the grinder is a series of simple would you rather questions relating to the topics that we discuss in the podcast, general topics, or whatever we feel like.
Oh,
That's right.
Okay. So the number one, got to know.
Yes.
Best NBA player of all time, Michael Jordan or LeBron James?
Michael Jordan.
It'd have to be because you're an 80s guy, man.
I'm an
Give
80s
it.
guy. Yes, yes. But I do respect the heck out of LeBron from a standpoint of, how many years has he played?
Yeah.
And the pressure. And I think sometimes it's almost pushed aside to kind of the 80s guys like, oh, it's MJ. It's totally Michael Jordan, but the LeBron kind of piece of it to where year in and year out, he has accomplished quite a following there.
Yeah.
So
Number 2, who would you rather watch a ball game with, Dan Patrick or Chris Berman?
Chris Berman.
For sure.
Yeah.
Way more animated. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. See, you're out on these.
Yeah,
You're not an 80s kid or a Sports Center person.
I don't even know who those dudes are.
And sticking with the 80s theme, bigger childhood TV idol, Michael J. Fox or Kirk Cameron? You mentioned Family Ties, but I want to throw Growing Pains in there as well.
Oh, I respect the Growing Pains. I do respect that. And probably was a little envious of Kirk Cameron just from a standpoint of all the girls in high school like Kirk Cameron. But it was Michael J. Fox. It was Back to the Future. It was Family Ties. Absolutely.
It was that, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
I agree. Kirk Cameron had amazing hair, thoh.
I appreciate you commenting on that.
Yeah, he rocked it. He rocked the perm.
He did.
Not
I
sure.
respect that. I do.
All right. Coaching basketball or playing basketball? Playing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
There's just no, you can't substitute that butterfly in your stomach and the work that it takes on a practice regimen. And I think a practice sometimes where it was a grind and you're going to practice, it's a 2-hour, 3-hour practice. But for today, being 50, kind of thinking of a coach putting a practice plan together for you and for us to prepare for a game. And then the games, it's just, there's just nothing different. Now, the coaching aspect of it, I love the game. I love the in-game. I love the ability to lift kids up. And for me, coaching high school, it's been just a great ride from a relationship standpoint that, it is a close second, but there's no substitution for playing.
Yeah.
Let's go play. Let's be
for sure.
Who's here?
in between the lines.
It's spring break.
Oh, your kids are here.
Yeah.
I was like Joey's right there. So what am I hearing over here?
Way to expose the studio as being my living room.
Sorry.
We're not going to edit that out. I love that already. Well, fantastic. You made it through the grinder.
Wow.
Flying colors.
Congratulations.
Easy. All
Yeah.
right, good.
So now you move on to fit or flop.
Okay.
And that's a bunch of occupational specific show related topics that you answer fit if it's a good idea or flop if it's not so much.
So canceling your concert to watch a basketball game, is that a fit or a flop?
That's a little bit of a flop. As much as I'm a hooper, as much as I'm a basketball lover, I would say you made a commitment. You stay loyal to your commitments, Kim, right?
Yeah.
So
right.
absolutely, I would have a tough time letting the masses down for my one love of
80,000
Yeah.
folks down or so.
Yes, that'd be hard.
Fit or flop, discounts for lower golf handicaps.
Ooh.
Well, who's who's making up the golf handicap? I mean, that's a little bit of a.
There's no honesty amongst golfers.
I don't know. I've seen a few that just, I swear I've seen them on the golf course, and then their handicap doesn't match up for the swing that I have seen.
I love the answer.
But hey, a discount's a discount. Let's go with that. Let's kind of have some added advantage to work on your game and improve. And so sure, I would say fit.
Okay.
Yeah, fit. Insurance is insurance. I can go get insurance from a Lizard. 15 minutes can save me 15% on my insurance. Is that a fit or flop? Why is that?
Flop. Absolute flop. One size doesn't fit all. And it is one that I get kind of animated about and personal about, to where that level of care and attention and cheap insurance is sometimes on the backside of it, really a huge risk. And I take care of, it's an honor and a privilege to take on a household and work with them. And we need to make sure that we listen intently to make sure that we are protecting those paychecks and providing a bright future for our clients.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And this next one has nothing to do with occupation or TV shows, but I was curious, instant coffee, fit or flop?
Fit.
Oh, you're an instant coffee guy. Pour that powder into the water, give it a nice stir. It doesn't matter to you.
No, I'm not. This is one sad sentiment from a food standpoint, from a fuel standpoint. It is just, I'm not that lover of the experience of food or coffee or all of that. All yeah. Right. I will call my mom today and I'll say, how was your day? And she will specifically tell me what she's eaten from the last 2 or 3 meals. I don't have that appreciation. It's just really, I got to fuel up and I got to move on. And it just kind of,
I told you we're separated at birth.
There we go.
Separated at birth.
That's about it.
You guys are very similar.
It's just energy. Yep.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
At any given meeting that Kim and I'll be at, I'll just be chomping on my rice and chicken at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
So
that works.
Funny.
A little protein.
You guys.
Love.
I just want to thank our guest, Eric Lovrak, for coming on, telling us about insurance and ultimately making insurance not boring. I can really appreciate that. Thank you so much for that.
So if you want to get in touch with Eric, I could see it on 2 different fronts. Number one, maybe you're a consumer, you want an insurance quote. He can plug you in with any number of our reps, depending on the area of which you live. So reach out to Eric for that. And or perhaps you're interested in a career with country. I could say insurance is not as boring as you might have thought. So Eric, if they want to reach out to you for that, we do have an event coming up for exploring this career, right?
We do. We are super excited. On April 14th, we have our Night of Opportunity event. Yes. It's a virtual event that you can learn more about a career as an insurance agent and about country and what we do to help and support one that wants to be involved in their community and work with clients like Kim does.
So, I love it.
And fantastic. How could people get a hold of you then, Eric?
It's eric.lovrak at countryfinancial.com. It's contacting Kim as far as that contact to kind of have her get in touch with me. And I would love to hear from anybody on that front in terms of as a consumer and or as a possible career. Would love it.
Perfect. I'll drop all that information in the comments. And so people will have that available to go if they do want to go that route. That's fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That's awesome.
Well, that concludes episode number 6. Episode number 7 coming up. We have Beth Wolf from Platinum Life University. She's a life coach. Yay. She is going to tell us how she helps keep people fit in a myriad of different events, whether it be stress fitness or health fitness. We're excited about having her on. So tune in. We'll see that.
I love Beth. I'm so excited for that.
Very much.
Eric, thank you again.
Thank you.
Thanks again, Eric.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
It's a wrap.